This video is the culmination of over a year and a half of building this Minecraft city in my almost 8-year-old survival world. So if you go on to enjoy the tour, I would really appreciate it if you left a like, and if you're new here, I would love it if you stuck around and subscribed to see what we're going to be doing next. Hello Leute, it is Tented Apple 2 here, and as of tomorrow, March 27th of 2022, my Minecraft world turns 8 years old, and for the past year and a half or so, I have been working specifically on this city right here, and so today I figured I'd show it off to you guys. And it all starts right here at this nether portal, and that is because I didn't actually choose this location when I planned to make the city. I actually went through the nether, and I just put a nether portal down and decided wherever I came out was where it was going to be. And I thought it was actually really nice. As you can probably guess, the area was not this flat when I first got here. When I came through, it was around that Y level, and that's why I have this beautiful little temple that goes up to it, because I knew I wanted to flatten it, and I believe the majority of the area was kind of that height, but we're up on a hill right about here, so I decided I'd leave the portal here and just build around it. And so this is actually the oldest building that I have in this entire area, because when we came through, I did pretty much all of the early stuff on live stream. We came in and we just flattened for a good like 3 weeks straight before I built anything. And so instead of moving the portal, I decided to make this beautiful little temple down here. And I'm rather lazy. I didn't actually end up building a house anywhere in this location. So this is basically my house. I don't know why I have that bed there. I never slept in it. My beds are all up there. And this is basically where all of the materials we gathered from clearing out the areas or just going on little excursions, especially these saplings, I would just come and I would put them in chests. And so this is like the hub where I would get all of my materials. Literally all of these have glass in them. I would just feed them sand over and over again. And so this was the hub that I basically did all of it out of. And I'm genuinely surprised just how few chests it actually ended up being. But yeah, this is where I actually started all the buildings. And then one of the first buildings I made after I came through and got this little bad boy going was I made this Parliament building. Now, I knew the city was going to come, so like that wasn't a new idea for me. But I decided, unlike I've done for other areas, I wanted to have some community involvement for it. And so when I made this Parliament, I did it a little bit beforehand, but we actually ended up doing a Discord. I made a Discord, and then for some reason, people in the Discord decided that they wanted there to be like elections or something. And so this right here is like the governing body of my entire city. Now, do they actually have any staying power? No, I'm the king. I tell them all what to do. But a select group of people did actually run and got, this is like the House of Representatives type thing. It's the Parliament, that's the word. And there is a president, though. The president, it has changed a few times, and I believe right now it's actually Seer. Yeah, Prison Mike was the first president that we had, and each of these individual seats was held by somebody who either came like a runner-up in the election or was selected by him. And so they basically vote on special laws. And when I say vote on special laws, I mean they don't get in my way when I decide. I basically made a couple of rules where I could just sell things, and that was my business model. It was pretty much a monopoly. I thought it was funny, but I thought this beautiful area just turned out lovely. And then after, you know, the people won the election and decided, oh, I'm going to be a representative now, they demanded that I go in, and so I made each and every one of them their own specific office. Obviously, I'm not going to show all of them, but I essentially went in, you know, going off of their personality that I understood. Like, this one is just upside down because, you know, they just don't make any sense. But yeah, we have, like, individual little offices for all of the people that were part of Parliament. I don't know, it's just, I don't furnish buildings very well, and this was one of the few ones that I furnished quite well, in my opinion, so I thought it was cute. And so, yeah, that was one of the earliest buildings that we made. And then from that, because we had the presidential election, the first president of the Discord, Prison Mike, actually decided that he wanted his own little statue. And so this right here is, if you can't tell, a statue of a giant cow made completely out of, well, I guess it was mostly stone and then a little bit of black stone up there. I don't know why he just decided that's what he wanted. And so that's what we did there. And then following up with that, like, government theme, we also have the High Court Parthenon, which this is basically like the Supreme Court type thing. Although instead of having, you know, like the 9 justices, here we only have the 3. And similarly, these were taken from people that were in the Discord. And they're just people that, like, I don't know, we don't have like a normal court system all that well. We have a minor one, but it doesn't work very much. And so people, if they had like a real dispute, they could come here, argue their case. There has been exactly 0 of these cases, but I thought it would be a cute idea. And some of my friends, even like Salbert specifically, decided that she wanted to be an attorney for them. So they even have their own little attorney space where they can just sit and, I don't know, decide what they're going to do when they're trying to represent people. It wasn't well thought out. I just thought it was a really cute building. And especially from out here, like, it just looks pretty, I think. I don't know. And then as you're heading back over this way, this is probably the one of, if not the least used things we have in the entire city. And that is, I made a little, I'm not going to actually go through it because there's no use. I made a little ice tunnel that would take you all the way back to my original city. And I think I have used it a total of maybe 3 or 4 times or something like that, because it takes like 3 minutes, even though it's an ice bridge, to get over there, because we're like over 1,000 blocks away. So I don't know why I did that. I just thought it would be fun. And in case, you know, you don't have elytra, because literally everybody has those these days, that's how you get about it. This right here is, obviously I have like 1,000 skyscrapers, but this was the first tower that I actually built here. This was actually its own video. I made it because, as you can see, I have so many dogs over there. And a bunch of people during my live streams told me like, oh, you know, you have way too many dogs that are just out here in the cold. That clearly did not change, but for the time being, I wanted to give them their own little area. So this little tower here was dedicated specifically to my dogs. I called it Canine Tower. I know, that's hilarious. And so we just have floor after floor where all of the dogs can have their own little, like, pampering area. Or they're kind of like military people, so, like, you know, we have a sleeping area right here. This is the High Court. Don't ask them questions. This just is the council of people who decide things. And then we have, like, a little play area. We have a little school for the youngins, although these guys have clearly grown up, so they're no longer youngins. We have like a little kitchen. We have another little barracks area. We have a few for them to sleep in. And then up here is where the Queen Athena herself sits, who is queen over all of the dogs. And it's still, I think, the tallest tower that we have in all of this area, just because, you know, I wanted Queen Athena to be able to rule over everywhere. And then as you head further this way, these are mostly government buildings, with the exception of this right here. This is actually, I think it's the newest video that I made. Before this one, I know how I made that skyscraper right there, specifically for the dogs. Well, then I got way too many dogs again. So this is just a copper dog because I thought it was really cute. I thought it was adorable. The inside leaves a lot to be desired. I basically just brought just a ton of dogs. I told you I make way too many dogs. I think they're adorable. I wanted them to have another spot where they could go sit instead of being out in the rain. So this is where my little wolf pack stays, aside from the little wolf pack there and the little wolf pack out there. I don't know. I love dogs. Get over it. But yeah, over here is, these are a bunch of government buildings. So like this one right here, I am insanely paranoid. I don't let people onto the world typically, because I've just been griefed way too many times to make it worth my while. Despite that, I decided I need to have a military-grade bunker, and so this is the Tadpolian National Defense Outpost. And as you come in here, this was just like a 2-day project that I thought was really cool. And so I came in here, I dug out this nice little area, and it's meant to be completely self-sufficient. Like over here, for whoever is stuck down here with me, we have enough beds. We even have a fish tank where I did not do the water correctly, so the fish are essentially drowning. But that's where everybody can stay. And then over here, we also have like a semi-automatic farm. That's how people would get food. And then I decided I was going to have a storage area. And then I got lazy and didn't finish the storage area. So this is like the beginning of a storage area. Look, if something happened, like somebody blew up my world, this would suffice. That's all it was meant to be. And I don't know, this is, the exterior of it is just one of my favorite buildings. I love how this thing turned out. But again, doesn't really serve a purpose. But then as you come out here, this building does. That building very much so does not serve a purpose. This one right here is the bank. And I actually have a few banks. Basically, every city I make has its own bank. And so it's basically another branch of my original bank, the Tadpolian Federal Bank. And I just love it because this is the second style of this bank that I've made. And I just, like, when I look at the first one, this just puts it to shame. I love how it looks so much. When you come back here, you see we have just a mound of diamond, but even that is meant to be like a fake thing, because that's not where we keep the actual diamonds. The actual diamonds are kept up here, or else they're in this secure vault over here. Probably shouldn't be showing you this, because, you know, one of you is probably going to grief me. But if you're a really high-end client, we'll put your good stuff up here, and then the rest of it can... Oh, come on now. The rest of it can just sit around here. We even have armed guards who... Well, they have arms, so I guess in that regard, they're armed guards. But yeah, we even have, this is the current president, Sear Scissor. He is the current president of the Discord, and so he has some diamonds in here as well. I don't know, it's stuff like this that I just find fun. Not that many people are actually putting diamonds in the bank, but I think it's cool. I think it's like a neat idea that hopefully somebody could take some inspiration from. I don't really know. And then this over here, I absolutely love infrastructure, like bridges, just my muse, as well as the roads. I know the roads don't look that fancy, but to me, this is everything. And so I decided to make a Royal Institute of Infrastructure. Also, if I just step back, I think it is a gorgeous building. It's like the only modern building I have ever created, so I'm just ridiculously proud of it. The inside is whatever. I decided to make like a model bridge because I thought that would be cool. And then we have like reception. People can sit there. We have like a little office here. We have, you know, like every office building has just a room where you can go grab a bunch of supplies. We have a meeting room. It's a pretty basic building. It's not too complex. I just think it's absolutely adorable. The inside, just who cares? This is the gorgeous part that I absolutely love. And then we'll get over here back to the other buildings over that way in just a moment. This I just love. Farming is one of my favorite things to do in Minecraft. Sadly, I eat pretty much exclusively, you know, steaks now. What are these? Oh, it's cooked beef. I know on Java it's the other way around. But yeah, I basically eat steaks now, but I love making these farms. And I'm so excited. That's one of my favorite things about making a new area. I'm going to get to make another one of these soon. So that'll always be fun. I don't know. I just love making it. This is a decently sized one for me. I love making them as big as I possibly can. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's cool. And then heading back this way over the bridge again. Over that way, this was actually one of the first areas we made in all of Tended Groves. Oh, I forgot to mention this as well. This is just a bank. Not a bank. This is a library. It's nothing too crazy. I've built one kind of like this before in a different area that I did. I think it's cute. Obviously, you're not going to get any real books out of it. It's just meant to be like a government-style building because I wanted this whole area to be like a government square where, I don't know, if you wanted to let your kid read and you need to file your taxes or something, you could come this way. I don't know. I just thought that was cute. But this is what I was talking about. This is actually one of the oldest areas in this entire city. It's called the Luke Olson Shopping District. And that is because this area, there was somebody when I first started the city named Luke Olson who donated a couple $100 during a stream, which was insane. And so I decided I was going to name something after him, and it ended up being this area. And this is where I basically have all of the big shops in my world. So like we have a head shop, we have a pie shop. I don't remember what all of these are because it's been a while. I think that's a clothing shop, a wool shop, something like that. Here, I'll just fly over. You can see we have a ton of individual little shops and things here. I actually did do a tour of this area at one point as well, so I probably should have brushed up on all of that. I just think it's an adorable little village kind of area, and this is one of the few times I've actually done, like you can see each building has its own different design. I almost never do that, and I'm just really happy with how it turned out. And this is also where I have like all of my animal farms. I probably should have moved them out of this area, but it's nice to always have to come back here anytime I want to get anything of use, so I really enjoy it. And then one last thing before we get to like the rest of the city. This right here is something I didn't actually show off before that I kind of have to explain because it looks kind of weird that it's just a dog bone there. This was created because I was doing a live stream. First of all, apologies in advance. I killed my dogs. In Minecraft, by the way. But I was doing a live stream and there was somebody that kept donating, and for whatever reason I decided if they donated like $5 or something, I would kill a dog. And it got out of hand. I think I ended up killing 9 dogs or something like that. I felt terrible about it. The stream did not let me hear the end of it, so we made our own little graveyard for them. This right here is also a memorial, and I don't know if you can see it from right here. I don't have anything to build up. Let's just fly up for a second. They made me use all of the diamonds I have. These are diamond blocks inside of this thing. I had to use all of the diamonds that I had at that time, and we made this little roof. It was something so that I would, you know, feel the pain of what I did to those dogs. Sorry about that, I was still on fire. We have the Tomb of the Slain Canines down here, and this is where I'm not going to dig it up because I'm not going to desecrate the dogs, but I did have some like bones and some meat and some other things in there to help memorialize the dog. I also, again, diamonds all over this thing. This is one of the most expensive builds that I have in the entire area. I also didn't have a lot of like blackstone and things like that, so this was really expensive, and it taught me, lesson to me as well as all of you, please don't kill your dogs. This right here was something I also did for a video. This was a Saturdays are for the boys sign. Nothing all that special about it. It just took me like a day and a half to make that thing. I made a video. I thought it was cute. The last thing before we just start looking at towers pretty much are, this right here is a kind of like a secret police organization because, you know, I'm a king. We know royalty loves to do things like this. And so, it's basically just like a little CIA, FBI, I don't know, one of those special little government things where the people can come in and we have a bunch of agents. I don't tell you who the agents are because I'm not going to give away their identity. But it was a cute little building that I made. It took me a surprisingly long amount of time. I think this ended up taking like almost a week to make. But I'm so happy with how it turned out. It's, again, one of the few buildings that I actually furnished the entire thing. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. I think this one was another one that I made an entire video out of, but just gorgeous. And then as we head out this way, you will probably notice, oh my gosh, Tadpole, you have a ton of skyscrapers. Last count, I was just under 100 skyscrapers. So I'm going to round it up and say we have about 100 skyscrapers in the city as a whole. I think they're gorgeous. The issue is they all have their own name. I named each and every one of these because if you don't know, I do things on Twitch. If you want to go follow me, it's twitch.tv/tentedtadpole2. But basically what I would do is each of these takes about 2 hours to construct. So I usually go live on Twitch and I'll make one of these skyscrapers. We'll name it something funny that happened during the stream. That much, as beautiful as I think each and every one of these skyscrapers are, there's not a lot to show for them. I think they're cute when I fly around them, so I just enjoy that. More importantly, though, are these smaller things that I built around it. And so this, I feel like it's overshadowed by the Parliament a lot. I think it's beautiful. This is, I named it after Jayton because Jayton is the same one who made me kill my dogs. He also made me kill a bunch of foxes because he realized he hates them too. And so we decided, in memorial to the foxes that we killed, I actually made a little sanctuary here for them. So these foxes will never be harmed. Oh, here, do you want a berry? There you go, have a berry. These are foxes that we've bred them so much. I think it's just so cute. I tried to make like a little biome because all of this used to be a spruce biome until I completely leveled the area. And so what I did was I made like their own little spruce biome. I gave them a little hill because we completely flattened all the hills in the area. Gave them some water, even have some Arctic foxes in here. I don't know, I just thought it was one of the cute things in here. And it's meant to prove that I'm not completely a monster. I had to make up for the foxes that were harmed at one point. And you also may be wondering why we have some dogs here with a purple collar. These are like the royal dogs. This one has 2 because it's so special. These were just specific dogs that I'm like, oh, it'd be cute if I had them like protecting specific areas. And so that's basically what they're here for. And then as you head this way, the first thing you'll probably notice is right up there, we have a beautiful statue of yours truly. Oh, here, I'll show you. You can kind of see, I'll take the armor off so you can really see it. You see the resemblance? Spittin' image, absolutely. I don't know, I'm proud of that. I didn't use a template or anything. I just like made that statue of myself and I don't know, I was really proud of it. But this right here is basically just a big open square. I wanted to have an area, you know, instead of just pure skyscrapers everywhere, I wanted to have an area where people could kind of just walk around, look at things. We did have a map here. You will notice, like, these are where all of the buildings I just showed you were. So the map has not been updated in a hot minute, but I just think it's a cute little area. We have, like, a little, I don't know, koi pond type thing here with a bridge that went over it. We have a beautiful little playground over here that the kiddies can go play on. This right here was also pretty funny. It's one of the few shops that isn't in the shopping district over there. It's Tadpole's Pet and Eat. Look, we don't have food. You can just go in, you can pet them, and if you need a snack, that's essentially what they're here for. It's a sadistic shop. I just thought it would be a funny idea to do something like that. I get stupid ideas when I'm doing live streams. I don't know what to tell you. But more importantly, the coolest stuff that we have over here is actually underneath the statue of me. I made this little hideout area here. Originally, it was meant to be exclusively automatic farms. And so when you come down here, half of them don't work, by the way. This used to be an automatic bamboo farm. Apparently, they like switched up the way that bamboo works. It used to be like it would force the bamboo to grow and then break it. It doesn't do that anymore, so it doesn't do anything anymore. We have an automatic chicken farm right there. These are some chests that really just held the stuff from when I cleared this out. We have a semi-automatic little wheat farm right here. And then this was meant to be a flower farm, but it like half works. Not really. It works maybe like 1/10 of the time. I don't know why I have it there. But the coolest thing that I have over here, it's meant to be in this cool little bunker here. These are my blue axolotls. Now, if you're new to the channel or you haven't seen it before, I have done way too many things with blue axolotls. I have made, I don't know, like 5 videos about blue axolotls. I love these things. I've bred over 1,000 of them. If you want to see, I made an entire video out of that. I just think they're cute. I love them. And so I wanted to give them their own little bougie tank. And when you come up here, it's also meant to be like kind of a boutique kind of thing. Like you walk in, rich people can come in and they'd be like, oh, I want to buy a blue axolotl. And so you can get the food for them right here, the little fishy boys. No, don't come out. We have fishy boys all the way around that you can grab to feed to them, or you can just look at them. I think it's adorable. I absolutely love the blue axolotls, so I decided they definitely had to have their own little area. And then when we come right back out from under there, basically all we have surrounding this area are a ton of skyscrapers as far as the eye can see. Now, that right there is the one exception. This, I'm not actually going to fly into it because I light myself on fire every time I do it. This was just a build that I thought was cute. I don't even remember why I did it. It's basically meant to be like a little crash landing pod right there. You can see like a ring around it from like the detrimental effects of a meteor or crash landing site. I thought it was kind of cool, meant to be like a little alien thing, but that's basically what it is. More importantly is, oh, and I completely messed it up. I have a little parkour thing that leads you from the city all the way over to this cooler stuff that I have over here. So, as I mentioned, just a heap of skyscrapers, nothing too impressive. But I love the stuff that I have over here as well. So, probably the first thing that I had in this area, aside from the skyscrapers themselves, was we made a football stadium. I should preface this by saying this is American football. When I say football, I mean this. I'm not talking soccer. This is a football stadium because I'm a big fan of the Kansas City Chiefs, and so I decided, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could have our own teams here who played and did things like that? And it's technically working, although I've never actually played a game of football here. I thought it would be cool, and so we have a bunch of little stuff here. We have like a red team and a blue team, and so when you come in here, you have the red team stuff. We also have a few shops over here that they were just deranged. I don't know what the purpose for half of them was. I just decided to let people tell me what they would be. So obviously you have to have a bathroom, and look, we're simple people. This is all you need for a bathroom. We have a nice little, this is the Sear, Shear, and Sheep shop. So this is the same as that wool shop that I had shown you before. Over here, this is a Scandinavian fisherman hut. I don't know what I was thinking for these. We have the Glizzy Glob shop. It's a hot dog stand. I don't know why I called it that. We have non-copyright, unnamed, redacted sales place because I don't want to get sued. We have the Seaside Sushi. This one is my favorite. It's the Sussy Baka Brugger pile. It's a pile of steaming meat that we don't know where it comes from. We don't know where it originated from. All we know is it just gives meat. And it's warm. So if you need hamburgers, eat that. Don't ask where it's from. And then we just have these long hallways. I had no idea what to fill them with. So they don't have much of stuff. This is where like the blue team has their stuff. And both of these just lead out onto the field. And then the secret is to get to where the players actually go. There is a back entrance, or you can walk through here. And it leads to, each team has their own side, so this is like the blue team side. So they have their own little locker room here. We have a little office. It leads out onto the field through this little tunnel. And then this is probably just my favorite part of all of this. This is like the media room. So, you know, anytime you see like interviews with a player after the game, I thought it would be cool to give them their own room. I know we don't have like working bathrooms or actual vendors, but I thought this is the most important part of a football player. I also put these little cameras in the back. Come on, that is attention to detail. I just love the way that they look, and I'm so proud of them. And this took me, I think, like 2 weeks to create. This whole area was a bit of a doozy, but I'm so proud of how it turned out. And look, you can sort of see the skyline coming out there. We didn't get that much built over on this side, so there's really not that much to show. So, yeah, not that important. I have a little shop there, but we don't care about that. But, yeah, this is one of my favorite parts of the city. I love that, and it took up so much space, and I thought it was gorgeous. Right over here, I tried to make a video out of it, but I was such a moron, it didn't actually record. This was just a volcano that I thought would look cool, so I decided, hey, why not? And then some people made fun of me and said it looked like there were beans flowing down, so I don't know. If you like the idea of the volcano, you know, give me a like, or I don't know what. This right here is 100,000 blocks of stone. You're probably gonna say, oh my gosh, it's hollow, oh, it was this or that. I actually did it during finals week in college. I was taking a final that week, and I decided, should I study or place 100,000 blocks of stone? And so I did the 100,000 blocks of stone. I ended up getting a B, which I was kind of sad about. But, no, I just think that's hilarious that, like, I did this instead of studying for a test. And, again, I made an entire video out of it, so if you think it's hollow, I don't know, take it up with YouTube. It's clearly not hollow. And then the last thing I have in this area is actually this little zoo that I made here that I think is absolutely adorable. So the walkway is just a little aquarium here. I messed up the water at one point, so that's why they're kind of stuck there. I have since fixed it. They just love getting stuck there. And I just think it's cute when you're walking by. That's the first thing you see. We have a couple of bunnies over here. These are actually descendants. Like, I just took bunnies that were over there at the pet and eat shop, and that's what these guys are doing here. This is the only spot where I actually have beads contained in my entire world. Like, anywhere that I want to have honey, I literally have to come here. And I just think it's adorable. Like, you know how you go to a zoo or something, they'll have like a butterfly house? Essentially that, but for the little buzzy boys. So I think they're cute. And then all the way around here, this is one of the only spots that I have pandas in my entire world. It's a cute little panda sanctuary that I think is adorable. Luckily for me, I don't have to worry that much about it. These llamas love to escape their enclosure, but the pandas love to just sit in here, and it's so tranquil and peaceful. I gave them their own little, like, waterfall type thing, and they just seem to love it. The llamas, on the other hand, hate it. They do not want to be here. I don't want them to be here either. Apparently, I'm a moron. I didn't realize that all of these, because they look like this, were llamas that came from wandering villagers. I hate wandering villagers with a passion. I mean, if you like them, that's your own thing. But I hate them so much, so I would always kill the wandering villagers. And then I noticed I had a bunch of these lying around, and I'm like, okay, I guess you guys get your own pen. So I basically backed them up against the side of this mountain, and they seem to like it, and they seem to be alright with it. This right here is meant to be the turtle enclosure. However, we have yet to have a single turtle hatch. I got the eggs. I thought I was so smart figuring out how to get eggs. And I planted them here thinking that, like, oh, you know, they're always going to come back and want to live here. And instead, they just decided not to hatch. So we just have these little boys sitting here. Up here, this is actually one of the newest portions. I had to add this after the fact. Like, I built all of this, and then people decided they wanted me to, like, make a little goat enclosure. Originally, I killed off all the llamas I had in this enclosure over here. I just wiped them out and put the goats there. But then I didn't realize the goats could always just jump up there and walk their way out. So, sadly, I had to put them in their own little enclosed cave here. They attacked me many times while I created this, so I feel no remorse for doing it. But it's kind of a cute cave. I don't know what they're going to eat aside from each other. But they seem fine with it. And then my favorite of them all... Well, I do also have some cats. I tried to treat them... You know how like some zoos have peacocks that just walk around? That's effectively what the cats are. They're meant to keep creepers out. But more importantly, my favorite animal in all of Minecraft are mushrooms. I love them to death because... you can eat them without killing them. That's cool. Also kind of weird, but I love that. And so I gave them, I even brought in some mycelium for them, which they didn't necessarily need. I just love the way that this turned out. I thought it was adorable. And the last thing that we have here is a little tribute to, I was doing a live stream, and while I was making this, I tried to bring some birds over, and I was incorrectly informed that if you fed them cookies, it would be like, you know, giving wheat to the cows. And so I gave them cookies thinking they would breed. And instead they died. If you didn't know that, they die if you give them cookies, so don't give your parrots cookies. So that's basically everything that we have over here. I'm actually just gonna fly over this way because the city sort of wraps around to this area here. This is like the newest area of the city, and I'm really happy about it. Oh, that right there, I should mention these two things really quickly. That is a house completely made out of copper. I did it for a video. I thought it was cool, and it is the reason I have like no copper anywhere else in my world. It turned out beautifully. And luckily enough for me, not much of it is oxidized. Well, now that it's raining, it might. Not much of it is oxidized, so it still looks pretty good. And then that right there is a golden creeper. I have a gold farm directly underneath it because, I don't know, I decided I needed endless gold for other projects, so I thought it was cool. And then these right here are the newest skyscrapers. I've built them all within the past 2 or 3 months or so. Most of the city I did, and then sort of did like small projects here or there. This I like dedicated myself to for the past couple months, and it has turned out gorgeous. All of this is based around right there. I have a woodland mansion, and this also sort of helps you realize just the actual height of things, because I flattened the entire area, but you notice the woodland mansion is so much lower. That is because the woodland mansion was actually higher than some, like out there was a big hill, and then down here was a low valley. So this was actually where like the base height for a lot of this stuff was. I just flattened all of it to be the exact same level, and as you can see, I put an emerald sheep on top of it. I have an obsession with building these little statues. I think they're adorable. Originally, I wanted to put like a second parliament type thing over here, and I just didn't, and I forgot. Like, I was thinking I was going to clear this out and make a parliament. It's just a woodland mansion. There's nothing too crazy about it. This was actually the first ever woodland mansion that I found in this world, and I didn't realize that it was so close to my city over there. but I don't know. I thought it was cool. And then surrounding it are just dozens upon dozens of skyscrapers that I think are absolutely gorgeous. I love making skyscrapers, if you can't tell. If you want me to make like a tutorial on how I make the skyscrapers, let me know, because I tried doing it once and the video turned out awful. And then right here on the very edge of the entire city, this is like the absolute edge of it, we have right there is a creeper farm that kind of works. I did sort of fix it up a little bit. I made a video where I pretended to blow it up. That was on a backup world. Fear not, it's still here. It does get me some gunpowder. It doesn't work very well, though. It was meant to give me all the gunpowder I could ever need for, like, rockets and things like that, but I completely butchered it, and it didn't actually work. The cooler of these builds over here, though, is this laboratory that I made right here. Because if you don't know, I'm actually in college right now. I'm a biology major, and I do research. On Twitter, I claim that I'm an award-winning scientist. I did win an award doing science. Just not the coolest award. I basically got it for presenting research. But because of that, I'm like, hey, I gotta have a laboratory in here. So I made this, I don't know, a couple months ago for a video or something like that. I thought, you know, it's like things like end crystals or nether portals. If I were in Minecraft, I would want to study them and figure things out about them. So we basically have this little area right here. We have like a little laser that shoots onto, I don't even know what this stuff is called. It's a vine of some sort. I brought in some nether stuff because it's like, it'd be cool to study that. And then we have an area where you can research moss, another aspect of the moss. I don't know, I just thought it would be cool. I tried to make it look as much like one of my research labs as I possibly could. We have a little cold storage area over here. And then, of course, axolotls. Even in real life, axolotls are very fascinating. So I thought it'd be cool to do some research on them, because I have so many. I don't know, I thought it was really neat. If you want to see me like actually building this thing, you can go watch the video for that. But yeah, it's just such a unique building that I feel like I don't get to show off that often, so I think it's beautiful. And with that, we've gotten through most of the stuff that I've made so far. There's one last thing, and it's probably my favorite aesthetic build that I've made in this entire area, and that is right over here, our town hall. I started making this really early on with the city. I had really high hopes for it, and then I completely forgot about it, and I didn't like the way that I designed it. So I've redesigned this building about 3 times so far, and I'm so happy with how it ended up. Like, just look at that. That's such an aesthetically pleasing building. And it's meant to be, like, the parliament is meant to be elected officials. This is meant to be more like day-to-day stuff. So I know I said that the Parthenon is where you do most of your litigation and type stuff, but we have like a little council meeting right here where you can come and talk. Oh wait, no, the council meeting is over there. This right here is where we have like a small claims court. Like, I don't know, if somebody stole a cow from you or something like that, this is where you would come to get that all sorted out. And then over here is where we have like a city council meeting, because in other cities that I've made before, we usually hold like little rules and HOA things. So like people can come up here, and if they want to make rules about like how tall a skyscraper has to be, or what kind of building you're gonna make. I don't know, clearly I've thought way too much about this city, and I just love having things like this. And then all around it, we were meant to have like a bunch of little offices and things, but I suck at furnishing, so I forgot to ever do those. And so, I don't know, I just love this like grand hall that you have right when you walk in. This is just my favorite building that I have in this entire area, and I'm so proud of it. And yeah, with that, that's about everything that I have in this city right here. Obviously, I didn't get to like every individual detail and things like that. I just wanted to show like the big broad strokes of everything. I'm so proud of how this turns out. It took me over 1.5 years to make it, and actually when you're watching this, within the next week, I will be starting my next city. Like I said, if you're new here, I would really appreciate if you stuck around and subscribed. Literally tomorrow, as of the day this video comes out, my world turns 8 years old, and I'm so excited to make more. So if you liked the video, I'd really appreciate if you left a like, and I'll catch you guys next time.